Today, for my handful series, we're going to talk about the handful of things in my vocal chain. We're going to break down the 5 things I have in my vocal chain, and then at the end talk about things I might change. So let's jump in the video. So yeah, 5 things I have in my vocal chain. These have pretty much become non-negotiable for me. This is just specifically from the microphone to the computer. You could totally recreate this with plugins, but I much prefer to run my vocals in through stuff on the way to the DAW. When I'm traveling and I'm working with bands on the road, I take my Universal Audio Arrow and I run in the console something approximating what this vocal chain is. All of the elements would be the same. This vocal chain has gone through some changes over the years, but this is where it's at now. So the very first thing in my vocal chain, of course, is a microphone. I have a few go-tos at this point. It's really down between the Shure SM7B, my Avantone CV12 2 mic, and an AKG C414B ULS. Everyone knows the SM7B is just good all the time, a very neutral sound, shapeable. You can take it and get it to sound like whatever you want, really. But for me, a lot of times, that's not enough character. I want something more done sounding already, which is when I'll reach for my Avantone CV12. This was kind of in and out of the chain for a little while, but it's really become my mainstay lately. Occasionally, it's a little too harsh, which is a criticism of the mic, but sometimes that harshness is what helps a vocal cut through the mix anyway. And for something in between, I like the AKG C414 BULS. It's a little darker. I have another C414 that's the more modern one, the XL2. But it's never been my favorite on vocals, and the BULS, a little warmer than the Avantone, but it's brighter than the SM7. It's a nice middle ground. A lot of times, a female vocal sounds better through the AKG. Next piece of the vocal chain is the preamp, and I'm running a Neve 511. I grabbed these quite a while ago when I was looking for a Neve type sound, and I'm not gonna say it's like a 1073, but you can get in the area. It's a cleaner sounding Neve preamp, but it has the silk knob for you to dial in that warm, what they call vintage sound. I pretty much always have that silk knob dimed out. I think it sounds really cool. If I'm getting a little too much, I'll back it off to maybe 50%. And the 511 has a high pass filter, which for me is a super nice feature because I can get a lot of that low end rumble out that I'm taking out anyway. But I can get it out before my vocal hits the compressors and maybe overloads them with that low end junk that is not a part of the sound. It's not something we want anyway. I don't go too high, maybe 100 to 150 hertz. Just get it out of there. You don't need it. Part 3 of the vocal chain is my EQ, which is a Cappy BT50. It's an API 550 clone, the old one. Really cool. I've always wanted a 550. In older videos, Nolly used to talk about how he had these on guitars and how he had these on snare. I had to have something like it, so I bought this. I wasn't originally intending for it to be my vocal EQ, but I threw it in the chain one day and it's great. Again, I like doing this stuff before it hits a compressor. The one thing I always do is take 10K and just crank it up 6, 8 dB, something like that, depending on the vocalist, and get a lot of extra top end. I'm not going crazy with like cutting or like boosting low end, but the top end is really nice. Step 4 in the vocal chain is my first compressor, which is a Hairball 1176 Rev A. Before this, I had the Warm Audio WA76, which I think is a great compressor. I had no problems with it. I just really wanted to try something different, and I always leaned on Blue Stripe compressors in the box, so I decided to give this a try. The Blue Stripe to me always gave that crunchier sound. Even at lower gain reduction, you're getting that sound, and it's helping push your vocals through a mix. I'm never doing a ton of compression with this. Maybe on the plosives or really loud parts, we're getting to like 7 to 10 dB, but this is kind of the first stage of compression for me. I'm living at 4:1 ratio, about 1 to 2 o'clock attack and fast release. I had no problems with the Warm 1176. I sold it to buy this. If you're looking into buying an 1176 compressor, I think the Warm is great. I think it's a great start, not just for beginners. I would happily use the Warm on my mixes still to this day, but that Hairball is a little bit of an upgrade. And for the 5th part of my vocal chain, we have the Summit Audio TLA50. I was looking for that LA2A sound. I bought this when I was looking for something a little more affordable, but now that I have it and I have that adjustable attack and release, I really love this compressor. When I first got it, I set it to slow and slow, kind of like the LA2A is, but I ended up doing medium attack and slow release. So having those there really helped dial in my vocal sound the way I hear it even more. I tend to do a lot of compression on it as well. I'm doing about 10 dB or so for a more intimate vocal, and for more aggressive vocals and more loud vocals, I mean, we could be diming the needle. We could be doing 20 dB plus of compression. I really don't think it sounds squashed when you do it. It nails it in place and it just sounds so good. It's not too much, it's just right. So that's my 5 things in my vocal chain. Would I change anything? Of course. I'm always looking to change stuff. I've never been too attached to any piece of gear for too long, with the exception of a couple things. As far as a mic choice, I don't really know because I don't dislike the Aventone CV12. I've never been blown away by some of the other mics. I've used some U87s, they're fine. I've used a Neumann TLM 102, one of their more low-end mics. Didn't really like it for vocals at all. I found something I like. It doesn't bother me. I keep using it. Maybe I'll be wowed by a mic at some point. A mic I've always wanted to use in my own studio is a Manley reference cardioid. I think they look cool. A lot of people that I really love their vocal sounds use them. That'd be something I'd be interested in trying. The Neve 511 into the Cappy EQ. While the Neve was bought with the vocal chain in mind, the BT50 really wasn't. It just was an addition because I had it. I've been really close lately to buying a Neve 1073 with EQ or a clone of it. There's a Warm Audio one. There's a Heritage Audio one. That would be, I think, where I went next for my preamp and EQ choice for my vocal chain. And then the Summit Audio TLA50. Like I said, I got this compressor and I ended up really liking it. I think the only place I would go different than this is the TubeTech CL1B. Everyone I know that has it really loves it. You can also dial in the attack and release on the CL1B, which makes it a real option for me since that's the part of the TLA50 I really like. And it gets the addition of a ratio knob. I really should have bought one a few years ago when they were more affordable. The used market on these things has gone absolutely insane. So while it is probably the next piece of gear I would buy, I'm almost just waiting for the right deal to come along that may never come along. So that's it. If you have any suggestions for something I should try in my vocal chain, I'd love to hear it. I'm open to new things. Or if you heard something in my vocal chain that really caught you by surprise, let me know. Thanks for watching this video. Hit subscribe to keep up with everything I have coming. Hit like and leave me a comment, and I will see you in the next Handful of Things video. See ya.